Okay, we've talked about a lot of things. Let's pull it together. A marketing strategy, a market entry strategy really has three components to it. One component is the technology development strategy. One component is the formal or highly specific marketing strategy. And the third component is the financing strategy. How do these link together? First thing I do is I figure out what I need to do to get this product to the market. Get it ready to sell myself or transition it to somebody else, either in my own organization or in another company and organization, if I'm, say, out licensing or whatever. Because if I can't sell something, who cares? There's no money, forget it, not going to happen. We're not talking about commercialization, whatever else we're talking about. Once I have that technology development and transitioning strategy, I look at it and say, how can I leverage that to improve the marketing, to kickstart the marketing? I look for opportunities where I can send my researchers out, say, to a trade show so they can understand what the end users are looking for and what the competition has. I look for opportunities to do focus groups. I look for opportunities to get out there into that world outside this window and farther than my market research is taking me, which is probably about as far as this bird feeder here, where I can collect little tidbits that little birdies tell me, which is basically what I'm doing in market research, and then I have these big gaps over which I have to make assumptions to try and weave the picture and the story together of how this technology gets to market. The more I can get people out into the market, the better off I will be, and I want to leverage that and do it in an appropriate manner so I don't tip my hand to my competitors, but I am starting to seed the market by finding the right opinion leaders and stakeholders and cluing them into what's going on and building trust relationships with them to the extent that is appropriate for where I am in the product development. Obviously, I have to develop a formal marketing plan, and how to do that is in Commercialization 101 and in my book, The Art and Science of Technology Transfer. The point here is that my formal marketing plan will focus on how I attain the 4 Ps, that I determine exactly what the product is, what I should be selling it for, how I'm going to position it, and how I'm going to get it in the end user's hands. I also, by the way, have to think about sales channels, which is how I'm going to sell it to them. Now, if I have everything I need to accomplish that marketing plan, and I have everything I need to accomplish the technology development plan, I don't need any other partners. I'm going to make and sell the product myself. There is a question, however, and the question is, do I have the money I need? Because it costs something to do that technology development and also to do the marketing. So I have to figure that out, and that's that third component, the financing plan. And if I have shortfalls, then I have to rethink what I'm doing and go back and look at it. So there's a kind of a back and forth process as I develop the plans. I develop the development plan, then the marketing plan, then the financing plan. But each new plan has to go back and revise the old plan so they integrate appropriately. Now, as we move forward beyond this, there's something else we need to think about, and that is, where are my shortfalls? I need to be honest about that, because maybe I can't pull those 4 Ps off, or maybe I can pull them off in one customer segment but not in another customer segment which is involved in a different application. And that leads me to think about how I partner. And where I can't pull it off, the requirements for pulling it off define the requirements for what I'm looking for in my partners, and we call these potential partners targets. I'm going out and I'm looking for targets who will help me get into the marketplace. My partners, my targets may be venture capitalists, they may be co-marketing agreements, strategic alliances, all these things we talked about very early on in the overview. But the key issue is, when I put together my team between myself and my organization or company and all the partners that I have, we should have everything that's necessary to sell this technology to the people who will buy it for the end users and get it into their hands. And if I don't, I have a big problem. So my market entry strategy, when push comes to shove, is about building a team, either in-house or with other organizations, that gives me all the functionality I need to solve the problem of market entry. Kind of sounds like a technology in a sense. A technology is a proven solution for doing something over and over again with a known outcome and a known degree of uncertainty. Well, in a sense, what I'm looking for is a technology for market entry, a way of going to the market with a known outcome and some degree of uncertainty, except for I'm not doing it over and over again. I'm only doing it once if it's my own company, or a few times. If I'm doing it once, I may outsource it. If I'm doing it a few times, I may outsource it. But wait a second, what if I am doing it over and over again? Then I should build the capability in-house to do that, and I want to hire the team, retain the consultants, put it together so I can do it over and over again. So that's the last piece of this market entry strategy. Who's going to implement it? Am I going to job shop it out, or am I going to do it myself? Do I have the right skill mix and the talent to implement the market research strategy, or do I have to go out and find vendors to help me do that? Once I've sort of figured all of that out, I'm ready to go chase the targets now, the people who I want to give me the money. I'm going to either chase them as licensees, joint ventures, partners, strategic alliance partners, investors for venture capital, or I'm going to chase them as ultimate customers for my technology. But whatever I'm doing, I'm in a different place. I no longer have just the technology. I've analyzed the market, I've figured out what's going on out there, and now I can go to somebody and say, look, this is how you can make money. I'm going to bring you these customers because you can use this technology I have to leverage selling to these customers. And that's what you're going to pitch to the target. So when we come back, we'll enter a new section of our discussion, targets.